Hey guys, it's Fightflow. Listen, it's crazy how some people still think all you need to fight is to get jacked and muscled up. I mean, yeah, having functional muscle definitely helps you be stronger in a fight, no doubt about that. But overall, if you're too muscled, it can actually be a disadvantage, especially in a long fight. Big muscles burn a ton of energy and require more oxygen to function properly. That means if you don't manage your gas tank, you're gassed out fast. So what happens when bodybuilders or strongmen step into MMA? Are those big, muscled guys actually a force to be reckoned with? Or is raw size and strength rarely useful in real combat? Let's break down some actual fights to understand what really happens when big muscle meets mixed martial arts. Alright, let's get into it.
To the ground yet. Not at all. Oh! Big right hands punch and that's it! That is it! Stopping the fight!
Let's talk about a guy named Zdravko and his fight against Gaspar at the Dogfight WoW tournament. Now keep in mind, both of these guys are amateurs, so it's not like Zdravko is facing some seasoned MMA veteran here. Just a guy who knows how to fight, nothing more, nothing less. Zdravko's got some wild tattoos too, definitely an intimidating presence. He looks like the kind of guy who wants to people step aside when he walks down the street. He enters the cage like a rock star, the crowd loving it, and Zdravko's got that smirk, like, yeah, I'm the main event here. Then comes his opponent, Gaspar. His coach is doing a solid job hyping him up, maybe too much, because for a second it looked like the coach wanted to fight Zdravko himself. But hey, Gaspar's feeding off that energy. Meanwhile, Zdravko's still just standing there, smiling, waiting, like he's thinking, I'm about to smash this dude. The fight starts. Zdravko comes in aggressive. He wants to land heavy hands early. Gaspar shoots for a takedown, but Zdravko stops it easily. But then suddenly, boom, a spinning back fist from Gaspar lands clean. That is basically it. Zdravko goes down hard. Fight over. Later it came out that Zdravko may have broken his hand during the fight, but let's be honest, that had nothing to do with that KO. Gaspar caught him clean. But guess what? That wasn't the end of their story. They had a rematch. This time Zdravko isn't smiling, no smirks, no showmanship. He looks locked in, focused, like a guy who knows 2 back-to-back losses to the same opponent is a tough look. Gaspar, on the other hand, confident. He already beat this beast once, he's ready to do it again. And right from the start, Gaspar opens up with a flying knee. Then for some reason he tries going for a takedown again. Not the smartest move, honestly. I mean, why try to take down a powerhouse like Zdravko when you already beat him standing once? Zdravko wraps his arms around him. You're not going anywhere, pal. Gaspar tries to escape, but no luck. After a bit of control time, Zdravko decides it's time and starts unloading powerful ground and pound.
Intentaba girar,
está en un momento dificilísimo.
Los golpes son muy pesados, se intenta proteger, no consigue del todo, está haciendo defensa. En cualquier momento lo puede parar Jesús, le dice que pelee de vuelta.
The ref steps in after a barrage of unanswered shots. Now Gaspar's pissed. He's yelling at the ref, claiming the strikes were to the back of the head. But to be fair, watching it back, it didn't look intentional. Maybe a few landed behind the ear. But that's part of the fight sometimes. Legit win for Zdravko. And here's the coolest part. After just a few minutes of action, both guys showed major respect to each other, like they just gone to war for 25 minutes in a championship fight or something. But honestly, that's how it should be. Once the fight is over, it's all about respect. Now let's take a look at the fight between Kirill Sidelnikov and Martin Soltysik. Just look at Martin, an absolute powerhouse, 265 pounds of pure muscle. Honestly, he looks like Zdravko's long-lost brother, just with fewer tattoos and much worse looking ones. Kirill, on the other hand, he looks like he just finished high school. Just a regular dude from a small town, who decided to give MMA a shot. But when the promoter asked who he want to fight, Kirill didn't hesitate. Give me the baddest guy you've got. Fight starts. Kirill goes to touch gloves. But Martin comes in with a full-on skinhead rush, like forget the handshake, it's time for destruction. They start exchanging strikes. Martin is throwing bombs straight from his pockets. No technique, no setups, just pure brute force.
Zdravko doesn't seem to respect Zdravko's power at all. Walking forward with his hands down.
229 pounds, and he looks very small compared to Zdravko.
Avoiding the big strikes.
Huge right hand by Zdravko.
And then, what is this? Martin goes for a straight shot to the groin. Probably his go-to move in street fights. But nah man, can't be doing that here. Slowly but surely, Kirill starts reading him, getting the timing down, landing clean technical counter strikes. Meanwhile, Martin's still trying to take his head off with wild overhands. No tactics, no game plan, just swinging for the fences.
Kicks. Zdravko getting off of that right hand but just missing the mark.
Well, Zdravko's throwing a lot of right hand leads. They're easy to see, so... Whoa! So Zdravko is getting out of the way, he's seeing those punches in time. But if one lands, that's gonna be it.
By the middle of the round, Martin's gassed. Hands down, mouth open. Basically a moving target for someone who actually knows how to fight.
They're not beautiful punches, but if they hit all sorts of damage. Zdravko nearly throwing the knee.
And that was all Kirill needed. One clean shot drops the giant.
Not at all.
Oh! Big right hand punch, and that's it!
That is it.
Stopping the fight.
Fight over. Time to head back to the gym and learn some real fighting fundamentals. And the best part, Martin's smiling after that loss. No regrets, no excuses, just soaking up the experience. Probably thinking, still good prep for my next street fight.
Looking at us now, Zdravko smiling. That right hand right on the chin dropped him. And he is clearly not able to defend himself. Great stoppage, great punch. And the head snapping as he hits the ground, that's a lot of weight to hit at once.
Now let's take a look at a guy who's huge even for bodybuilder, Robert Burneika. He made his MMA debut against Marcin Neiman, who was definitely not the toughest opponent, coming in with 0 wins and 2 losses in MMA. The fight starts and Burneika is signaling to his opponent like, come on bro, no running, let's fight. But Neiman is like, nah man, I'm good, and just keeps circling around, hoping for the best. The crowd starts booing, no action, nothing happening. Burneika, clearly annoyed, begins taunting him. Neiman throws a single kick with no follow-up and goes right back to circling. But Burneika's had enough. He didn't step into the cage just to flex those massive muscles. He came to crush somebody, so he starts chasing Neiman around the octagon. Neiman probably thought, wow, I'm so slick, this big buffoon can't catch me, I'm too fast for him. But honestly, what's the point of even stepping into a fight if you're just going to run the whole time and not throwing anything back? Yeah, Burneika is bigger, sure, but come on, it's not like you didn't know who you were fighting when you signed the contract. So yeah, a frustrating first round for both Burneika and the crowd. Round 2 starts and Neiman continues his circling marathon, but Burneika, tired of chasing, finally rushes in, catches him and doesn't let go. He takes Neiman to the ground and starts unloading ground and pound style. Neiman has nowhere to run now. At that point, Neiman is like, screw this, I'm not getting paid enough for this, and taps to strikes. Now let's get to the second MMA fight of Robert Burneika's career, this time against David Azdoba. Look at Burneika making his entrance, full-on show mode, rappers hyping him up, muscle flexing, walking through the crowd like he's the hottest thing in MMA right now. It's pure spectacle. The fight begins and for Burneika it's déjà vu. He's here to smash someone, to tear his opponent apart with those massive hands. But Azdoba, he's not even trying to engage, just circling around, avoiding contact. After about a minute of this, Burneika tries to bull rush Zdravko.
Trafiło Zdoba.
Then another charge. This time he managed to clinch, but Zdravko capitalizes on Burneika's complete disregard for defense and lands a few clean shots to the chin, even managing to drop Burneika for a moment.
Rewanżuje się cepami i trafił! Zdoba trafił 2 razy bardzo mocno. Koksu idzie na całkowitą miatykę. Chyba się troszeczkę zdenerwował. No i ta siła fizyczna pomoże. W klinczu na pewno, ale świetnie zrywa to Zdoba.
Still, Robert is relentless. He gets up and keeps chasing. You can already see Burneika is gassing out, but Zdravko clearly wants nothing to do with the clinch game. He just keeps running away. But here's where things get interesting. The referee isn't having any of it. He shouts at the fighters, "Come on you two, fight, we need some action." No real action follows, and the ref decides to hand out yellow cards to both fighters for lack of engagement.
Nawiasem mówiąc tak, to są żółte kartki. Swego czasu to było po kasie za coś takiego. Porządnych organizacji.
That yellow card doesn't sit well with Burneika. He literally starts running after Zdravko, trying to make at least something happen.
Sprinterski wyścig w tej chwili Roberta Burneiki, ale nie dogoni.
Zdravko responds by sprinting away, doing his best impersonation of a track athlete until the end of the round.
Czy będzie jeszcze obalenie na koniec tej rundy? Raczej już może zabraknąć czasu.
Round 2 starts, and it's more of the same from Zdravko. Avoid the fight at all costs. Burneika, desperate to close the distance, charges in again, and finally, something happens. In one of those wild bull rushes, Burneika lands a shot that sends Zdravko flying, and they briefly go into a grappling exchange.
Walka na razie w tej pierwszej rundzie układała się tak, jak Dawid sobie tego życzył, ale zakończyć to dyskwalifikacją. O jest! Gromy z nieba! Ale proszę! Zdoba z tego wychodzi chyba w tej chwili.
Burneika rushes again, chin completely exposed, and boom! Zdravko catches him clean and drops him with a punch.
Jaki Robert iść do dźwigni na nogi, no to by było zakończenie. I wymiana odparta, zwalił się koksu na ring. Jezus! Ale ciosy, ale bomba, ale kanolada.
It's a pretty wild exchange, but after that flurry, things slow down again. No real action until the end of the round 2, and the crowd, along with the ref, are clearly getting fed up. Now round 3 is a complete disaster, as Zdravko isn't even pretending to engage anymore, just circling non-stop. Burneika, obviously exhausted, can't even manage the explosive rushes anymore. He just slowly stalks Zdravko, occasionally landing a punch here and there.
Widzieliśmy teraz w klatce. Wow! Fight back!
By the middle of the round, the referee has had enough. He steps in and disqualifies Zdravko for refusing to engage, saving the crowd from a few more minutes of pointless running. But hats off to Burneika, he came to fight. It's not his fault his opponent don't want to be there. One thing's clear, Burneika as a bodybuilder may not be the fastest or most technically sharp fighter out there, but if one of those huge hands connects, it can do real damage, and clearly not everyone's willing to stand in front of that kind of power. And of course, this video wouldn't be complete without mentioning the one and only Mariusz Pudzianowski, the legendary Polish strongman who made the jump into MMA. Let's rewind and take a look at one of his early MMA fights, back when he could still be considered more of a strongman than a full-time fighter, like he is today. And hats off to Mariusz, right from the beginning he didn't step into the cage to fight no-names. Nope, his opponent in this fight, none other than Tim Sylvia, former UFC heavyweight champion. As always, Pudzian comes in with a full spectacle, rappers hyping him up, a massive entourage behind him, walking out like a warrior going to war. The fight starts and Mariusz opens with some leg kicks.
Z mocnej psychiki będzie chciał trafić Mariusza, ma dłuższe ręce, będzie starał się prostymi.
Then immediately dives into wrestling mode. His game plan is obvious, try to outmuscle Sylvia and take him down.
Będzie powalenie, Mariusz Pudzianowski kontra Tim Sylvia, wysoko pociągnij Mariusz jeszcze tę nogę.
At his prime, Silvia was known for his striking, so Mariusz wanted none of that. But here's the thing, being the world's strongest man doesn't automatically translate to cage dominance. Despite his raw power, Mariusz struggles to get Silvia down. By the middle of the first round, you can already see that all that constant grappling attempts are taking on him.
Kolanem trafił w głowę Pudzianowskiego i znów walka w stójce.
Kosztowały to troszkę sił Mariusza. Teraz próba atakiem low kicków.
He's breathing heavy, arms slowing down, legs stiffening. Silvia starts connecting with strikes.
Będzie atakował kolanami bez żadnych problemów. Stosuje ten tajski chwyt za głowę. Znów uchwyt za głowę, znów kolano. Pudziana pcha się do przodu bez żadnego ciosu. Silvia doświadczenie. Taki powinien być jego plan na tę walkę. Zdaje się, że te low kicki nie bardzo zdały egzamin. Będzie musiał mocno w tej chwili pracować.
By the end of the round, it's actually Silvia who takes Pudzianowski down pretty easily and controls him on the ground until the bell.
2-3 ciosy i Silvia może nie tylko poczuć, nie tylko zobaczyć tę krew, ale poczuć. W tej chwili chce znokautować Pudziana.
Second round and it's clear. Mariusz is gassed. He attempts a few sloppy takedowns, but nothing even comes close.
Teraz Silva kopie niskimi kopnięciami low kickami.
Próba zajścia do nogi mocno kolanem, teraz następne kolano w głowę Pudziana.
By the second minute of the round, he just drops to the canvas, tank completely empty.
Silvia w tej chwili absolutnie dominuje. Jeszcze jeden low kick, widział walkę z Kawaguchim, widział, że
Silvia sees the opening, gets on top and starts unloading ground and pound. Within seconds, Mariusz taps to strikes.
będzie starał się trzymać ręce rywala, ale wiele pozycja północ-południe na drugą stronę, znów mamy boczną z drugiej strony i próba dojścia, czyżby do klucza? Nie, Silvia będzie jednak próbował kończyć tę walkę ciosami.
And that right there was a big lesson for him. After this fight, Mariusz trimmed down, leaned out, improved his cardio and actually found decent success in the cage. But this fight against Silvia stands as a solid reminder. If you want to hang with real competition, you need to be conditioned like a fighter, not just built like a strongman or bodybuilder. That's about it for today's breakdown. Make sure to subscribe to the Best Fight Show on YouTube for more stories like this. As always, stay safe, stay sharp, and I'm out.